In a cozy little burrow lived a brave brown mouse named Sakinsa, who always sported a snazzy red bootie. One sunny morning, he gathered his best friends, Budima, Binura, Nimish, Yuvin, Sadep, and Sayuru. Their tiny hearts were thumping with excitement. Today was the day. They were embarking on their greatest adventure yet, a trip to the magnificent city of Colombo. Packing tiny satchels with crumbs of cheese and sips of water, they waved goodbye to their quiet home and set off on the winding path. The world outside their burrow was a kaleidoscope of colors. They scampered through fields of emerald green grass and under a brilliant blue sky. Their journey was anything but lonely. Soon, they met a camel with a gentle smile named Sino, who offered them a ride on his hump. As they traveled, a flash of red zipped by. It was Nasindu, a cheerful squirrel who chattered stories from the treetops. Further on, they spotted Chilanka the stork, gracefully wading in a sparkling stream. He wished them well on their travels. The path led them into a cool, shady forest where they encountered Vimuxi, a gray wolf with wise, kind eyes. He guided them safely through the dense woods. Just as they emerged, they saw Dishan, a red panda, munching on bamboo. He shared some of his tasty snack with the hungry mice. The landscape changed again, and they found themselves near misty mountains. There, they met Kaveen, a mighty gorilla with a surprisingly gentle heart, who showed them the best climbing spots. Gliding down from a tall tree was Devin, a sugar glider, who performed amazing aerial tricks for them. The path then took them towards the coast. Splashing playfully in the waves was Deepsa, a sea otter who juggled pebbles to their delight. On the sandy shore, they found Jiwansa, a shy hedgehog, who uncurled to say hello. Nearby, Rakissa the capybara was calmly soaking in a mud puddle, looking utterly content. As dusk began to settle, a sly-looking jackal named Umansa trotted by, but he was friendly and simply pointed them in the right direction. A moment later, Vishwanas the jackrabbit bounded past, his long ears twitching with curiosity. They also met Krishan, a tiny chipmunk with chubby cheeks, who shared some nuts with them. As the moon began to rise, Pasisha the bat swooped down, guiding them with his expert navigation through the twilight. The next morning, they were woken by the proud crowing of Kenneth the rooster, announcing the dawn of a new day. Their adventure was far from over. Their journey brought them to a park filled with wagging tails and happy barks. They met a whole group of friendly dogs. There was Sejora the Pomeranian, a fluffy ball of energy. Yehan the poodle with his perfectly coiffed fur. Dilka the Rottweiler, big and strong but a total sweetheart. Avishka the black Labrador, always ready for a game of fetch. And Ashinka the French bulldog, with his adorable grumpy face. They also met Chamis the Yorkshire Terrier, who was tiny but full of courage. Mahil the Great Dane, a gentle giant. Yudish the German Shepherd, loyal and protective. And Aquila the Chihuahua, whose bark was bigger than his bite. The dogs welcomed the little mice, sharing their water bowls and showing them the best spots in the park. Finally, after their long and exciting journey, Sakinsa and his friends saw at the towering buildings and bright lights of Colombo. The city was a symphony of sounds, the honking of tuk-tuks, the chatter of people, and the distant hum of the ocean. The mice were in awe. Their eyes, wide as saucers, took in the vibrant markets, the colorful temples, and the sprawling parks. They scurried through busy streets, their little adventure team now a grand parade of friends. They explored every nook and cranny, from the historic Gale-Face Green to the bustling Peta Market. The city was even more amazing than they had ever imagined. While exploring a quiet alley, they came across a group of cats sunning themselves on a wall. The mice froze, but these cats were different. Kalulahiru, Subash, Buvasauru, and Pushpika looked at them with lazy, curious eyes. To their surprise, Kalulahiru purred and welcomed them. The cats weren't interested in chasing mice. They were the cool, friendly guardians of the neighborhood. Just around the corner, they met Lilan and Narain, two clever foxes who knew all the city's secrets. They shared stories of hidden pathways and the best places to find forgotten snacks. The group continued to grow. Near a peaceful pond, they met Ranyuna, a calm and thoughtful water monitor who was sunbathing on a warm rock. And then they saw him Rajisa, a magnificent water buffalo, cooling off in the water, his powerful presence commanding respect from all. Just when they thought their adventure couldn't get any more surprising, they came across a special, cooled enclosure in a large garden. Inside was Isuru, a friendly polar bear. He had made a unique home for himself right here in the warm city of Colombo and was delighted to have visitors. Seeing this incredible gathering of animals, Isuru had a brilliant idea. He declared it was time for a party. Music started playing, snacks were shared, and everyone from Sakinsa the tiny mouse to Rajisa the mighty water buffalo to Isuru the polar bear began to celebrate. Mice, a camel, a squirrel, a stork, a wolf, a panda, a gorilla, a sugar glider, an otter, a hedgehog, a capybara, a jackal, a jackrabbit, a chipmunk, a bat, a rooster, a pack of dogs, a clouder of cats, two foxes, a water monitor, and a water buffalo all danced and laughed together. They shared stories of their homes and their journeys, their differences melting away in the joy of their newfound friendship. It was an unexpected, wonderful celebration of unity and kindness. As the sun began to set, painting the Colombo sky in shades of orange and pink, the party slowly wound down. It was time for Sakinsa and his friends to head home. They went around to each of their new friends, giving heartfelt farewells. They promised Sino they'd ride with him again, told Nasindu they'd visit his tree, and assured Isuru they'd be back for another party. With their hearts full of joy and their minds full of incredible memories, the 6 little mice began their journey back to their burrow. They traveled under the starry sky, their tiny footsteps light with happiness. They had set out seeking adventure but had found something far more precious, a world full of diverse and wonderful friends. Back in their cozy home, they knew they would never forget their grand trip to Colombo and the amazing animals who had made it the adventure of a lifetime. Thanks for watching our story. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more adventures.